Hello, my name is Greg Starbuck. I'm a licensed therapist here in California, and I do these little topics and vignettes, kind of those that are in this profession or this industry or have a kind of some kind of connection to it. I kind of take a perspective from many years I worked in a clinical or hospital environment and having private practice for many years, and still in practice, but it's all online now. Topics and interests that continually come up. And mine is from a Christian perspective. You can have, of course, you have the same topics and interest, if you're not a Christian, but these are from a Christian perspective. And, as I've indicated on other topics, we're saved, but sometimes we have a lot to work out, right? A lot of things to figure out and get through. And sometimes topics and interests can kind of spark a thought about something. And again, it's only for education, information, never to take the place of therapeutic interaction or counseling or any of those things. If you're finding yourself in struggling on something, then please contact somebody locally in your community and get an appointment set and get in there and get some work done, right? Maybe get something taken care of you haven't gotten taken care of in a long time and you want to. Well, today's topic is in the area of anxiety. Wow, anxiety. Anxiety. Now, anxiety can be looked at in many different ways. There's some good reasons to be anxious at times. You're moving along on the freeway and you cross over a bridge and there's a car accident. You get in a car accident from somebody hit you or whatever, and you're off to the side and you're near the bridge there and you're hanging out and things are getting done. And everything works out okay, and you go home and then get up to go to work the next day, and you're coming home, and as you approach that bridge, your anxiety level goes up, right? Stress goes up. You're anxious, right? Your stress level is just going up, and you feel, oh my gosh, what is going to happen? You have this sense of things being out of control again, and of course there's not a lot of options to going to work and coming home, and you can avoid the bridge for a long time, but eventually you have to sort of start, and then eventually, and it starts to go away, and you don't have those thoughts anymore. That would be kind of a reflection of the trauma of that event. And then your brain finally catches up to it, begins to manage it, and then you just sort of work your way through it each time until that anxiety's gone. Well, there's other kinds of anxiety too. Some of us are born into anxiety, right? We've got a parent or someone closest, they're anxious, worried about everything. It doesn't matter what it is, if you don't hang up the dish towel straight, something could happen, right? That's kind of that OCD component. Now, as Christians, we don't get out of this, right? You can have all the same things as a non-Christian, but we do have the advantage of the Lord, because the Lord can help us in these moments. If we give it to Him quick enough, we can say, Lord, just help me right now in this second. And the Holy Spirit can begin that moment, because He already knows you're there and He knows you're going through it. So just ask Him for help. That's just a little coping skill. It's not meant to solve the problem. It's just an interesting coping skill. And for some of us, it's just sort of, you would think it's in the genetics, but later on in life, we're going about it, and our daily activities of daily living, and you begin to do some behavior, and someone goes, "What's that all about?" Well, I don't know. My mom always worried about it. My dad was always worried about it, so I'm worried about it. And so some of these are learned behavior regarding anxiety. We have good anxiety. We have like test anxiety. Oh my gosh, I got to get this test done. I got to do well on this test. These are, in a way, kind of positive stress, right? Where I'm anxious about how this is going to turn out, and I need to do well. And these are like periodic kinds of anxiety, which is quite different than ongoing anxiety, which is a little more fear-based. You know that anxiety is worrying about the future, not about what's right now. And maybe an event from the past, then you take it forward and you're worried about it. Well, what if? Well, what if? Yeah, but what if? You're worried about the future. So we ask Jesus, please help me stay in the moment right now with you, Lord. Help me just be with you in this moment, Lord, because you already know the future, and I don't need to be worried about that. So anxious anxiety is worrying about the future and what might happen. Now, in some situations, right, it would be a good idea to be anxious and be a little vigilant, paying attention. You know, last time I walked down this path, there was a lion. Well, I might be anxious about that. And I might be thinking, oh, I need to be prepared for this. You know, I think I'll go in a tank or something down this path, right? Because some legitimate anxiety and fear. But I'm talking mostly about everyday stuff where we tend to kind of sometimes go a little bit too far. Uh, and the brain is beginning to look at a little bit more than it needs to for the day. Right? I'm overwhelmed with thinking about the future. So let me encourage you in this topic, just a brief little look at anxiety. Nothing right or wrong about it, really. It's just such an uncomfortable way to function throughout your day. And sometimes it can be a little hard on others. We have to go back and check the garage door in case somebody goes in. You know, these little things that could just add up. But give them to the Lord as quickly as possible. Anyway, a little bit of topic on anxiety, not exhaustive by any means. And you can imagine what it's like to be anxious and your adrenaline takes off, fight or flight. And for some, stand still with all the adrenaline rushing, right? Those end up in some things they call panic attacks. But that's for another topic. Anyway, a little something for you today. And really enjoy talking with you and just touching on a few topics and interest in a very brief way of interest. Well, we'll see you on the next topic, and God bless.